Hello and welcome back, listeners, to the Duel Screens Podcast. Yes, it's Halloween is upon us, or the Halloween season, and we're covering all things spooky, scary, creepy, horrifying, etc. Returning to the podcast this week is our good friend Saverio Caporusso, CEO of Troglobytes Games and developer of the Kindeman Remedy, the most blasphemous, diabolical, and insane management game ever created. How's it going, buddy? Welcome back to the show. How you been?
Hello everyone. Hi, Andreas. Yeah, quite good, quite good. We cannot complain, and yeah, we're exciting also for the release of the announcement, the release, of the new game. Yes, the most blasphemous, and diabolic game management game ever created. We hope so. It's
So,
called the Kindeman Remedy.
yeah, so I think the first thing I want to ask you is like, what is wrong with you people? What's why
Nothing. No, really, I don't think. I don't.
who hurt you? Why do you make games like this? What's going on?
What do you mean? Why should? First of all, we should not? And second, why we should not? No, no. It's like Tarantino said because people won't see the blood, the gushing out.
I mean,
So,
I love this is right up my
uh,
alley, but I was playing the demo like a little while ago before we dive into this. Do you think a
mhm.
game like this could have been made like 30 years ago?
Depends where.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for me, yes. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Doom was splattering things as well. Here there are other kind of gore, you know, sub. I don't know how to say.
I
I
mean, gore
mean,
gore is one thing.
visuals.
Like, I grew up playing horror games and watching horror movies, but this like you're killing people and then experimenting
Mhm,
on them. So I think that's like,
mhm.
do you think we could have had that like a long time ago? Like that kind of gameplay?
Look, it was existing, I think, in reality. Some people made it for real, so we made it a game.
Right.
Um, Okay, of course, I don't want people to stop at the first, I don't know to say the first visual of the game, but you will, there is an intro, which is
Mm-hmm.
which explains all the reason of this person, which of course is not good in his mind. I'm not justifying,
Right. Of
but let's
course.
say,
Of course.
what if? Okay, it's a what if.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this doctor, super genius, anesthesiologist, and chemistry, and let's say like the best doctor in the world. And he find out, let's say by chance, by whatever you want, that if the human body is properly stimulated,
Mm-hmm.
tortured. So if you make this practice, the human body creates like a system of to reduce this pain. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there are some substances that human body produce to reduce the brain, the stimulus of the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, okay, if I have more of this material, I put everything together. I'm a super chemistry. I can make, the super, we call remedy,
Right.
let's say this substance, this medicine that will be I don't know, like discover or super anesthesia. Okay, sorry for me finding the words.
You're right.
Super
It's okay.
anesthesia. So you say, okay, let's try torturing few people for the good of the entire world.
Yeah. I mean, all the name of science, right? Isn't that the idea? Like
Yes,
science comes
yes,
first, and we're all
exactly.
just lab rats to this
I
doctor.
I didn't make this idea. Someone else did it. We just are applying to a game. But in the story, of course, things that don't go as predicted. No, let's say he he. I mean, his wicked actions are discovered. So it's
Right.
not anymore this doctor super famous is disgraced, disbarred, I think is the correct word.
Yes.
And the only job that he finds is in in a prison, like on an island called Thompson Island. Okay, just okay. So what he does in the prison, of course, he says, okay, I was doing on some people, but here there are inmates. They are already in the prison, so those are the scum of the really of humanity. Those are criminals. I mean, they should pay for what they've done, but let's have science. Let's say let's have them helping science.
So
So
it's a little guilt free. He can, there's
yeah,
people who morally, like, he believes don't deserve to live,
exactly.
and we might as well use them
Yeah,
to
they're already
better
refused as
science.
society. Exactly. So those are let's say moral free. Why not? And to help him, of course, this is the idea of the doctor torturing people and making experiment is taken by reality. And to help him, there is this sister Anna, which is let's say the partner in crime, who is already also sorry, it's also inspired by reality, by the reality. I mean, there were some nurses and sisters that were killing people, all elderly especially, because they are they are sending those people to God because they say so. And there are many episodes of those serial killer, basically,
Right.
white serial killer, and we introduce this this kind of helper.
Yeah, and she believes it's Sister Anna. She believes she's doing the work of God by helping the doctor.
Of course,
which is great. So let's kind of walk through what the core gameplay loop looks like. How does the day to day, because it is a management game, and there's different things happening at once. You got to manage both the doctor and the sister. They have different responsibilities and duties and things to keep in check and take care of. Walk us through what that looks like.
So it's not day by day, but it's also day by day and night by night.
Day and night, yes.
There is during the day the doctor prepares pills, and the sister decides or not to. Let's say you play two characters anyway, so you decide to poison the pills or not to poison the pills, which means they will kill or heal, cure the inmates. Okay, they make a queue basically. They are serving, administering pills. The good thing is that you have to balance the number of killing and the number of healing, because your reputation will grow up. More reputation in the jail, in the infirmary of the prison, will bring you to buy more equipment, like a better chemical desk, more chemical desks, more dispenser, drips, more ingredients, better ingredients that will bring you more reputation. And this is why you have to kill people. This is the balance that you have to find. So why to kill people? Because you need to study dead bodies to proceed a bit with your reports, with your research. But the most for me it was let's say, I don't say funny to find, but let's say intriguing to find how to have a living person on your torture table. So, well, you have to rig the execution. So this is the part where, okay, we were a bit inspired by the Green Mile, the movie and the book, where there is the execution on the electric chair. Let's say the game is in fictional 50s in the USA, in the States. So like in the book, like in the movie, you can also, let's say, there is this execution by electric chair, electrocution, I think. Sorry.
Yeah, you're
What's
right.
happened?
Electric chair. Yeah.
So what you do basically, you rig the execution. You made everything that looks like the person, the inmate, the sentence to that is death. Dead
You're
indeed.
faking the death basically. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Thank you. You
yeah.
faked that. How you call someone too low too low the
Yeah,
voltage of
that's
the
really
chair?
comical. Like there's a person that you don't really like,
Yes.
but you need them to
Yes.
lower the voltage so you can have a living subject to later
Uh,
test on.
and the same time, you have to provide something like a drug to resist.
Hmm.
So let's say to faint at the last moment. So
Hmm.
basically, those people are suffering on the electric chair. Everybody thinks they're dead, but okay, you say okay, they're dead. I will bring them in the morgue, but those people they will wake up tied to your torture rack or torture table, and you do you perform different kind of treatments,
What
different part of the body, different
right.
tools, different part of the body.
What do
Um,
the various like upgrades look like? Because I know that a key part is you got to keep your reputation up. So you
mhm,
keep getting people who want to go to the infirmary for your aid so you can help them.
mhm.
And then over time, you're able to get better equipment. What does that piece look like in the game? Like
Um,
what levels up? What gets better? What becomes more streamlined? What systems do these become more gruesome, or are there like other ways of? Is it always poisoning people? How does the upgrades
s-
fit into the day-to-day stuff?
so to kill people, you always because it's a characteristic of those kind of serial killer. You always use poison.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you produce better you have better equipment to produce items that will give you more reputation.
Hmm.
But anyway, you have to poison. Sometimes you have to poison someone because you need you need their bodies in the morgue to study. Um, Also, you are ruled by 5 minutes in the morning,
Hmm.
5 minutes in the night.
Mm.
So, the chemical desk or the machine, they become more efficient, they produce more, faster, and more ingredients, let's say more products. Basically, you have to deal with some tasks. You can deal with some tasks better. At the same time, also you have to remember that tomorrow there is the execution, so I have to put the drug to the sentence to death, else I will
So many
lose.
people have to die. It's like every day there's an
Um,
execution.
Let me think. I think 20 by electric chair, and then 20 to be tortured, and then I don't know. I think 160. You have to kill
Oh
160
man,
or the whole game. Yeah, it's a big jail,
it's a lot of
but
crazy. That's a lot
it's
of
a lot.
fucked up people in the jail.
Yes, the funny thing is that we want to put to, let's say, that you win eventually the Nobel Prize, so your reputation, the reputation of Dr. Kindeman, is reinstated, but nobody knows to at which price,
Right.
because nobody know that he was killing people, he was tortured. Nobody knows basically.
I
So
just love how there's a jail full of what sounds like the most violent criminals, and they're not already killing each other every day.
yes, we were saying yes in one version of the game we wanted to give a pill to make them crazy, so
Mm, oh wow,
the day after they knife each other. So you say okay, I give a pill someone.
that's a freebie. That's a free body you can experiment on.
Yes, yes, but basically it was difficult for this kind of management game to have the camera in that moment when those people are killing, also you could lose those moments, you could lose the counting of both bodies that you need. And so we prefer this more classical way. It's also funny, it's ironic, it's dark humor because
It
sometimes, I mean,
is. It is. I mean, it helps that there's a very like silly sounding soundtrack
yes,
playing in the background, and the animation of people just collapsing and dying 5 seconds after taking a pill, and no one seems to care.
yes,
There's a
because
line forming, and like 1 out of 4 people are dropping dead, and no, it's okay. It's fine.
because they
I'll
could
have
be
what
dead
he's
for
having.
any reason. they were sick anyway. You give a pill, okay, they died. So they were sick. And really, nobody has the mean to study why. And you are the resident doctor. I mean,
Mhm.
everybody was, what's up? It's dead. It's because he had a problem, whatever. I mean, when you have the power to say why something
Yeah.
happens, everybody believes you. Moreover, in an island, in a jail, those kind. Okay, it's a dark humor also because the guards they don't give a shit basically.
No, and they're also like in on
No,
it.
they're
They don't
smoking.
care. Yeah.
They're smoking
Like as far
there.
as they know, the less people to manage, the better.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, there are all those, small details that, according to they characterize, the life of this jail and the dark humor that there is behind. Yes. So,
Where did the idea come from? Because I feel like, having played a game like Ravenous Devils, and I love that game, this seems
yeah.
like a nice build off of that. And that game, it's a very similar. You're Sweeney Todd, you're killing people and turning them into meat pies
Mm-hmm.
and also selling their clothes and other other things. This seems like a nice evolution from that gameplay concept. Where did the initial design and idea come from?
No, indeed, we want to. We saw the success of Ravenous Devils.
Mhm.
We saw also as a studio, it's a quite a sustainable project because we need less than 1 year to produce a game like that, and eventually next time we will need even less time. So it's a game we want to make on regular base, let's say. So yeah, we said, okay, let's try this shot, and also, because it's a game that everybody can understand, everybody, hopefully, of course, everybody can understand. Very simple. You can play only with just with the mouse. You don't need any button, nothing. Just with
Mhm.
click of the mouse, perhaps the wheel to go up and down to zoom if you want. But basically, is a very, I mean, a game for everyone. There is a message behind, the one that I said before. And we have been also lucky to publish the game with the 3D Realms.
Mhm.
If you saw the great
Yeah.
relaunch they had with many games like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, we are basically we're working closely with them to publish the game. So
What is because I think you guys kind of have a corner on the market because I don't know of any other games that are like this. This like kind of dark comedy horror management sim.
mm, I
Like
know
do
there are some.
like do other ones exist? Because I think of Ravenous Devils and then this come to mind immediately. But
I think they don't have the same that they don't have the dark humor.
mhm.
Are mostly splattery and gorish like. Uh, I think I did not play those games, but by the trailer, by some screenshot, first of all, I haven't seen so much, perhaps two or three. But they lack, perhaps, I'm sorry if there's some, in my ignorance, let's say, I think there is no the same kind of narrative or again dark humor
Mhm.
that it really is like that. Okay, it's an aspect of our game, and there are things also. We have also cutscene. It's not just okay. I have this routine. No, there are
Right.
some characters, stories. They intervene while you are playing. There is the director, the daughter of the director, the warden. Sorry, warden, the daughter of the warden. There is also a kid in nearby the prison, which is
Mhm.
very
That's fun.
interesting story. There is a so-called, let's say, it's in the 50s, so there is also space for racism,
Mhm.
and is cured. You can imagine, or you cannot imagine. I mean, I invite people to play at least to check the game, and you will see how the racism is cured somehow, and
Somehow.
many somehow, and many other what the fuck moment. because really, I mean, it's what in Ravenous Devils there were also moments like that.
It's
So yeah.
it's also a really fun game to watch. Like playing it is one thing, but I enjoy watching people play these kind of games because it's you get strong reactions. It can be so silly sometimes, again, with the way you handle the soundtrack and the animation with the subject matter. Like those like your design choices kind of amplify the dark comedy of it all, and it makes it very entertaining. And you wouldn't think like a really serious topic like human experimentation and and murder and corruption and all these things can be delivered in a
Uh,
very sort of silly way, but it can still be meaningful and have an impact on those who are watching.
yeah, it's a comedy. I mean, we
Yeah.
invite people. We invite people first of all. We know someone that can say, "Okay, you're crazy. You go in a mental asylum and stuff like that." I mean, first of all, it's a creation of fiction. You can say, yeah, based on real things. So it's like you read a book about real things, and I don't think the author should go in a mental asylum. There is a story behind. There is, the value of the. Now you want to go philosophic, the value of the human life. I kill 100 to save 1 million,
Mhm.
and those kind of things. Of course, what we want to deliver, it's a product, it's a game, so it's treated with a light, with some again comedy, humor, and I really hope that if you see the screenshot, the image, the trailer, and you don't like this kind of game, you buy the game just to say you're crazy, please do not buy, because sometimes, in my opinion, there are some people, they are gamers. They're gamers and they buy everything because they say, okay, I can judge everything. I can judge everything because I have the right to do, because I'm a gamer. Well, not everyone is able to understand everything, because simply
Right.
it's not in your. It's like now you want, someone that watches um movies about war. Suddenly you have to see all the romance stories, and simply you could appreciate or you could not, but we'll never
Mhm.
say in a romance story is a bad movie because there is no war. No, because it's a romance story. I mean,
But love is war though, Saverio.
also, sorry. Okay,
Love is
so
love
let's
is
take
a
another one.
battlefield.
So, okay, let's take another example. No, you see National Geographic and you say, well, there are no kids, there are no, they don't talk
There's no
about
the animals don't
education.
talk. They're not like
Animals, they
Disney.
don't talk.
They're not
Exactly. Animals
Disney.
don't talk.
They're not like Disney lions. They don't talk to each other.
Yes, I mean, so if it's not a game for you,
So
if you decide, just not ignore it, move over. We are not offended. Let's say it's wiser. Let's say, okay, it's not the product for me. I do every time. It's a game that I cannot totally judge, understand, and everything. So I don't buy to judge and say I don't like it. It's like, meat for vegetarian. Don't eat meat. It's the same thing. It's just simple. I'm vegetarian anyway. But just to say, I
oh,
don't go
are
in the
you? Is
restaurant.
that
Yes,
I had no
yes, but I don't
idea.
go in the restaurant and they say, I don't like this restaurant because no, I don't go. Simple,
You
it's not
just
the
don't
place for
go.
me.
And
No.
also, like your games don't cost like a lot of money. Your games are always very moderately priced. Also,
Yeah, we try.
yeah, like I think I could buy like your entire library for less than what I spend on lunch, maybe.
Yes. Sometimes, yes, yes, yes.
What's the response been like? 'Cause you've had the demo out there for quite some time. The game is coming, I
Mm.
think, on November 16th, right? It's like about a month away or so. Is that still
Yes.
the date? So what's it been like seeing people play the game and experience it and get, a feel of what it's all about? How's that been?
Um, I had the chance, unfortunately, not to see so many videos on Twitch, but I saw some people, let's say they enjoyed the game, except, perhaps 1 over 20 that says oh no, oh my God, what's happening? But there is no blood at the start. There is nothing at the start.
Mhm.
Also, the animation, it's everything. It's masked. It's very. You don't see blood in the demo. In the real game, I think yes. You just see corpses and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I mean, there are games where there is blood everywhere. Um, and the same people they play those games with blood after they see this game they can say, oh no, I cannot stand it, you know. It happens. So
That's interesting how they can play another
yeah,
gory game and be fine,
yes,
but your
yeah,
game,
no,
it's like I
no,
can't do this.
I can't
This is
because
too much even
if
for me.
yes, I'm really am puzzled sometimes, but
What is something you learned about yourself in creating games like this?
look, in general, I found myself with all the good and the bad, let's say, things. Um, let's say that I had to direct, for instance, the voice acting.
Hmm.
I mean, in my life, I mean, in my education, nobody told me, okay, one day, and now you have to learn, or you have to say to an actor how to, to interpret this
Right.
character of this game.
Say it
So
this way.
and there was yeah, sorry, to give direction, to direct a person that perhaps has 15 years of voice acting,
Hmm.
and you have to say to this person with 15 years voice acting how you envision this character in that moment. Uh, yes, I mean it's not something that I learned. Sorry, perhaps the answer is not proper, but something that you have to do it
Yeah,
because
and I guess it took you by surprise because you didn't expect
yes,
that to be
yes,
part of your job. But you think about the game, the development, the code, the
yes, yeah,
gameplay, the nuts and bolts. But then when it comes to the creative, like the voice acting bit,
yeah.
you think, oh, we'll hire someone that knows what they're doing. It'll be easy. It'll be fine. They'll get it. They'll get it in one take. And then you
Look,
find yourself like this isn't. It has.
if you
It's
are
different
another
in
person,
here.
yes, yes, yes. If you definitely want, but if you are another person, if I tell you, for instance, I tell you to Andreas how it should be this character, so he can communicate to the voice actor,
Hmm.
perhaps Andreas will miss something
Hmm.
and will not do it properly. Even if we have a writer who wrote everything, la la, but of course, developing the game, you see something changes a bit, and you have to tell Andreas in the way that is going to tell the voice actor. So sometimes you have to direct. Direct directly.
Hmm.
You must be the person in touch with the voice actor, with the artist anyway, with the performer, and like this, many other things. So yes, I am the only one in my team who does it because other people are busy. And yes, and then I mean it's fun. I think nobody says because there are few indie games. They are perhaps they have a voice acting. Now people will kill me for this statement, but not every time you see voice acting in the game. Yes, you have to say to a person with more experience than you how to do his job
Right.
or her job. I mean, it's
Is
funny.
there is there a lot? Do you get a lot of pushback sometimes? And you're like when you're trying to explain to someone, hey, like your delivery isn't quite what I'm imagining or what
More
I
than
want it to
expected.
be. Hmm.
More than expected.
And what are those conversations like?
No, we had for other games and we recall I was, let's say, for other games really, I mean, in the past I think some actress they could not get angry
Oh,
and they said,
what?
"Oh, you cannot, no, they cannot make the voice they are angry or powerful, like like I can say like an Italian driver stuck in
Right,
the middle of traffic in
right.
Rome, how many anger this person
Hmm.
is able to, but with reason, not just, screaming like a crazy person, but,
Hmm.
and I noticed some actors, but I mean, some actors, they're not able to do it
Oh wow.
because, yeah, some of them, they work for more, I think, for mobile games.
Hmm.
and they do hello, good, that's good, go on, those kind of things, not
Right.
cheerfully.
They don't practice that sort of range to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the idea of
remember.
rage or anger doesn't
No,
come up in
no,
there.
no, 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 no. Yes, exactly. Okay. Was some performance we had in the past, and then we move over to other actors. I mean, we never use those people. They're not in our games, credit in our games, because we did not use their job. But really, I was puzzled to say, okay, main actor should be able more or less to do everything. So, yeah, stuff like that.
How did 3D Realms get involved? Because you did mention them earlier in the conversation.
Mhm.
Did they happen to see your game at a convention, or was it like a communication you already had between them? How did they become your publisher for this title?
So we last year in Germany, I went in Germany to the Gamescom
Mm-hmm.
and had a conversation with the mini publisher about our games, what we are producing, what we are doing. So basically, um, the Kindeman Remedy caught the attention of 3D Realms people, and yeah, because basically they don't have a management game like that. In my opinion, they have many shooters, they have other
Mm-hmm.
kind of games. There is no management game like that. Anyway, the thematics are very interesting. They find that the fandom really appealing, and also with their help, we can also, bundle the game with Ravenous Devils
Mm-hmm.
in various way. I think would be no, how do you say, no obstacles
Mm-hmm.
in these operations.
Right.
And I cannot say more next time, next
Of course, yeah.
podcast.
What is because you guys have been on both, you've self-published your own titles in the past,
Hmm.
and I think you've published other people's games as well, if I'm not mistaken, not just your own projects. And now
Yes.
someone's coming in to publish. What's what what's changed in that dynamic now that you have someone that's publishing your game for a change? What do they bring to the table that makes the process easier for you or less stressful when you were
No,
publishing on
stressful
your own?
always,
Oh, well,
always
yeah,
stressful.
I said less
No,
stressful.
less stressful. Okay, I would say okay. No, it's not equal. Okay, different stressful.
Mhm.
It's a different kind of stress.
Different kind of stress.
Yes. So, first of all, when we publish a game, with brackets. Sorry, I take opportunity. We are publishing now Death Noodle Deliver,
Mm-hmm.
which is the demo is available on Steam right now for the Steam Next Fest.
Did you say death nude
No,
deliver?
yes, when
Oh,
you
okay.
deliver noodles and you die
Oh,
eventually.
noodles.
Noodle. Ah, no nude. Sorry. No, no. Okay. Ah, okay. This is next game. Noodle.
That's the DLC. I just gave you a free idea.
This is yes. Okay. Thank you. No, I said noodles clearly.
Very.
Of course, no.
It's just my
So
sick, twisted brain that turned it
it's
into that.
so that's and then you don't make video games, you see. So
Right. Correct.
it's Death Noodles Delivery. So it's a game that we are publishing for some Italian devs, friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we are publishing their game. So means we're using a marketing company. I think we will use another PR agency as well. Okay, and then at the same time we are published by another entity. So they use their marketing agency, and we have to tell people give asset to our agency, and then they ask us to give assets and material to the other one, and more or less we have the roadmaps to follow, stuff like that. Yes, I mean it's to stay a bit in the middle, but it's okay for us for the Kindeman Remedy to have the game published because There is, first of all, trade idioms. I think it's quite. I mean, not. I think it's a quite important.
I mean, they've been around for years. They're a pretty big
30,
label, yeah.
30, or 30 or 35 years. I mean, I was playing
Okay.
their games. Everybody, I think,
Of course.
played at
Yeah.
least once. Their games were very happy. So, it's also how a big company works, basically. Because we have a magnitude, of course, they have another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So different standards,
Mm-hmm.
different stress.
Of course. I just love that it's still stressful no matter which way it cuts. Either if you're publishing your own game or you're publishing someone else's game or someone's publishing
Yeah.
your game, it's stress all over the place.
Oh, no.
How do you manage your stress?
No,
By killing people and experimenting on their bodies.
and experiments indeed in my how do you say my cellar in my basement. No, I don't have a basement, not yet, but I mean we need one.
What are your the people in your social circle that aren't involved in game development or even gamers? How do they feel when they see the kind of things you work on and the projects you put together?
You know that lately I have no, because I'm very busy working, and also many friends of mine are in Italy. I live in Spain, but I'm Italian. If nobody guessed, no. So far, I live in Spain, so everybody in Spain, all my friends in Spain, they know that I make video games. Some people they watch it and they say, okay, something. Like they know it's a game, and they know, like I mean, it's they don't. They say, it's interesting, the visual. So they are a bit technical people. So they watch all the technical side, all the content, so if it is gore or not. They don't care basically. And other people in Italy, for me, there is, I can tell, there is 90% that was, you make video games. This is cultural, I'm sorry. I mean, okay, and but can you find a better job? I mean, can you find a real job? Because directing and the creating and making Excel table and testing and is not a job. You have to make Excel table for a real company to work. If you make for your
So much
project, you
more
are an
interesting.
idiot. Yes. So yeah, I always like a bit of pity saying, but I mean, really, they're worried. I mean, what did you? I mean, what's wrong with you? I mean, something like that, no?
Well, that's
Not because I
actually
make this video game. I make video game in
just
general.
in general, yeah. Like to them,
Yes,
it's
yes,
like, what is
yes,
this baby job you're doing? Like, shouldn't you?
yes,
When are you gonna grow up and get a real job?
yes. And okay, there are other part of the people say, okay, they know the job, they know the drill, and that's all. This is depends also by the really the age.
Right.
I was speaking with some people that were like over 60, and basically we had a long conversation about, what the video game should teach, or really what should teach. No educational things, no killing, no blood, and so on and so on. It
So
was,
they think that game should be more of an educational tool than for entertainment.
yes,
Is that what the perspective is?
yes, like and say no, a game could be whatever its request to be. Could be coordination, could be a game of memory, could be a game of coordination, strategy, social game, could be a social game, could be, competition, could be everything. I mean, because what they say, of course, is Doom, Mortal Kombat, and stuff like that, and my games. And of course, why the games are so violent, all of them, there are many aspects because they are not playing games.
Right.
It's and they say, okay, but when people buy those things, yes,
They do.
they do. I mean,
A lot, a whole lot
and
of
lot
them
is a
do.
market. I mean, more money than they told me some years
I
ago.
mean,
More
it's
money
more than
than
like music and movies, I think, and television combined at this point, which is crazy to think that that's a real
yes,
statistic. And like,
yeah.
I'm wondering, like, for you, how you got into this field when culturally in Italy, it's not as
No.
Not as big as it is in
No.
Japan or United States. Like the
No.
idea of wanting to go into game development. Like
So
what nurtured that in you, given that in
um
Italy it's not a huge thing.
so we need another episode of a podcast to explain everything
Your
because
origin story.
no, it's not my origin story. It's what Italy is culturally,
Mhm.
what it's really culture. I think
Yeah.
our I I don't want to be political, but let's say some values, Italian values,
Mhm.
they really fucked up the country
Mhm.
for a lot of time still, and those are the consequences. I mean,
Mhm.
for instance, I have some friends in Italy, in the south, which is, for who knows the situation, the south of Italy, it's a bit cut out historically for many reasons by from the north. In the south, they were making video games for PlayStation,
Mhm.
for PC, in Flash, when it was
Okay.
Flash.
Okay.
Many years ago, like 2020, almost 22 years ago,
Mhm.
there is a game for PC that at the time they were saying even Chinese and Russian will buy this game
Mhm.
because there was no internet almost. There was
Right.
internet. Internet was there, but
In
of
its
course,
infancy at that point. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I mean, but everything.
Mhm.
So in this time, at that time, those friends of mine, they were making video games. Okay, they were making it for so until today, they're still making. I had a different background, totally different background. I was the only things that I was doing within brackets was for me, I think, a likely period without computer at all.
Mhm.
I can claim. I don't know what is a console war. I don't care.
Right.
I don't really don't care. It's a tool to play. Don't say which one is
Exactly. Yeah.
better. I don't really. When people okay. So what's happened? That basically, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons, Cthulhu, paper and pen,
Mhm.
and there are statistics. There's also part of social, how to speak with people, blah 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 blah. What's happened that I moved this after I of course my computer, my bullshits as well. I was playing also video game. So when I moved in Spain for other reason, my friends say, "Look, can you check the fiscal situation in Spain? Because open a company in Italy it will cost a lot. Just only fiscal reason, and also a bit cultural. I didn't know. So when I start to check the video game industry, and I was doing another job.
Mhm.
Um, I really noticed that Spain was, like, they want really to make video game. I mean,
Mhm.
really, there were school, there were
Like a
many
direct
school.
opposite, really, of what you were experiencing in Italy.
Yes, there was really a strong, what do you say, a strong habitat for
Mhm.
this kind of industry.
Mhm.
Still, there is growing,
Mhm.
and Italy basically they catch this train in Spain, but in Italy we they I don't know how to say because someone did it lost the train of
Yeah.
video games, really lost it. I mean, it was something that was passing by and say, okay, what you do these things, what are from? I mean, what are for? Sorry.
Right.
Why find a normal job? Meanwhile, here there was a, let's say, dream again to produce to do what you want. You can see Poland. Poland, I mean, now it's the seventh country that sells video game. After
Mhm.
Japan, USA, UK, Germany, the seventh country.
Mhm.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have data. I guess I saw some years ago, Spain was the 12th country, something
Mhm.
like it. Italy is 27,
Mhm.
somewhere. First of all, it's due to the culture that we have, no,
Right.
because education. You should make education. You should make education. Yes, you cannot shoot with a shotgun a zombie in the face or something like that, because will
But that
bring you
but that teaches you how to prepare for a zombie apocalypse one day.
exactly. But also, it depends which kind of game it is, because could be strategical, could be whatever.
Right.
Could be action, could be requiring coordination.
Mhm.
But in Italy, simply was not like that. I mean, we look the IP. Look at the IP. Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Pinocchio has been taken. I don't say
Mhm.
stolen. Has been taken. by Korean. They made the Lies of P.
Yeah, and that's like I want to say
Dante,
the
Dante
one of
Inferno
Dante's Inferno, another amazing game, but
is an Italian story.
Lies of P I think is like one of the best games of the year that's
And
ever
they
come
fucked
out.
up. I mean,
And
we have
it's
the IP, we have that, we have in the house. I mean, and someone, of course, who is able to make video games. They say stop with those Chinese things that nobody understands because it's inside the culture. Culture is a Chinese culture, it's Korean. Let's make Pinocchio. Okay, let's make which I think it's a nice, IP. All the story, they just of course transfer in a video game. I mean, I like to because also I know the devs of Blasphemous or
oh yeah,
Blasphemous.
those
I
guys are
know
great. Yeah.
I know them. What they did, they take something cultural. They did
Mm-hmm.
the Sevilla procession, la processione. Sorry, I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to say in English.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a video game. And I can tell you, I was always with my really. It's not that I made it up now. I remember I was speaking with my friends. What about making a game where you are one of these person from this march, from the procession, and you beat other people. You are the person who beats these people during the march because they have a nice iconography. They have a
Mm-hmm.
nice dress. They have really
Yeah,
something.
all those like the religious like
Yeah,
iconography and all
yeah,
those
yeah,
things is
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. Now imagine that I need money and I'm in Italy, I need money, and I go to the bank and say, I want to make a video game. What is a new video game about? Is that you take priest and you shatter the red with the cross of priest, no? They will call the police immediately.
they're gonna call the Vatican is what they're gonna do.
Yes, yes. I mean, you cannot produce a game like that. You really will find some bigots under
Oh
your
my
balcony.
God.
Really, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, while you know the Vatican, what it does, and everything, what's going on? I mean, in Spain, no, it's the game is really at the limit of blasphemy, and
And the game is literally called like it's supposed to
it's
blah.
called blasphemy. I mean, so I mean, like you say, look, I mean, I know it's blasphemy. I mean, so in Italy, this thing was not possible at all.
Oh
Was not
man.
possible. And I was thinking of it. I don't want to take I just any credit, nothing. I was thinking with Luciano, a friend of mine, my colleague in the team, 20 years ago, drinking a beer, we were watching, I don't know, this thing come out. We had the idea. I mean, guess, imagine to kill those people in some way, no? Um, I know was this idea, and when I show also to the devs of Blasphemous, I say, you know that these things happens also in the south of Italy. Look at this march in Tarento, look at the march in Matera and the south of Italy. You can see Processione Italia. You will see find a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like this. Oh, nice, nice. Idea for the next one.
Very encouraging. Yeah, they're like, this is
Yes,
great.
yes. So yeah, that was Italy 20 years ago. Nowadays, it's a bit more. Of course more open,
Right.
more,
Yeah. I would
but
imagine. Yeah,
still.
because I'm thinking I was in Italy for the first time in March of this year. I went to Rome, Florence, and Venice.
Mhm,
I was there for about 10 days and I did all the tourist stuff. And I don't recall seeing like any like electronics store or like some place that would or like an advertisement for
uh,
anything.
zero,
And I'm now realizing it like none of that.
zero.
Like I can imagine Venice, it's very, old country, it's has a very specific vibe of it, but like Rome, mm-mm. Don't
Zero.
recall
No,
seeing any bus ads or any subway
no,
ads or nothing
mm,
or a
no,
billboard
really. No, but
at all.
neither AAA, neither AAA.
Yeah.
Now we cannot repeat it. That's why we need another episode of the podcast.
Yeah,
Podcast.
yeah. We should get you and then
Um,
the blasphemous devs to do a little like
First, oh yeah, why
roundtable
not? I
discussion.
mean, what's happened that there are how to say there are some. First of all, the Italian the player plays only the 2 games of soccer because we had
Yeah.
because you need 2 games of soccer,
Right. Of
two,
course.
not one,
Two.
two. The other one is for race car or something, which
Mm-hmm.
in Italian we have Assetto Corsa, which is the industry
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
in Italy. I mean, this one, but also there are people they work there. there, and then very few production, high level. All the other indies, first of all, are not. I mean, nobody buys indie games in Italy. There are very, very few.
Yeah.
Respect to Spain, there is a low culture for indie games. And also, when we speak with publishers and stuff like that, well, in our case, no. But they say we would like to localize the game in Turkish before localizing in Italian. Because in Italian, nobody buys indie
There's
games.
a stronger market in Turkey
In
compared to
Turkey,
Italy. Wow.
yes. And I was like this. I mean, Turkey, seriously, yes. And they say, we don't spend money for Italian localization. If arrives pro bono, yes, but we don't. Really, Turkey is better than Italy in buying indie games. And I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know. It's some years ago they told me. It's still like that. Turkey is growing market. Respect Italy. I don't know Greece. But I don't know other countries. I mean, but
Yeah,
France,
Greece, I
yes.
don't know, maybe. Because I have a lot of my family in Greece and I'm wondering,
Mm.
like some of them do, but I feel like again, as they got older, they it's like, well, I put the childish things away because I'm no longer a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I never put those those things away. They're still a huge part of my life.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
that could be like a whole like another 2 hour long conversation, I feel. But that was great. Thank you so much for coming on
Welcome.
this week. And before we say goodbye, um tell us where we can find the game, where we can buy it, the day it's available. Give us all the media spiel before we say goodbye to our listeners.
So you can follow Troglobytes Games on Steam. You can search the Kindeman Remedy and wish list and follow the game, the studio, and our previous game are Hyper Parasite and Blind Fated no Yami. Every time we switch genre, okay, you will see also the next one and the other two. We have 2 games more to be released. But now we are working on the Kindeman Remedy to be released on the 16th of November. And yeah, that's I personally thank everyone who will give a bit of, some chance to have an open mind and to watch the game, to let's say to play this experience and to have an open mind for everything that comes and the messages that can arrive from this game.
Well, I'm very excited and I'm picking it up day one when it comes out. And so should you,
Thank you.
listener. And then I'll do it for this week. Thank you so much for coming on the show this week, Saverio. It's been a real pleasure. And as always, listeners, please be excellent to each other. Go buy this game. And Italy, if you're listening,
Yeah.
just go play some more games in general. They'll make you happier. I guarantee. You have my word. All right, guys. Until next week, take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Very grazie. Bye.
All right. Thanks, man. That was a lot of fun. That was good.
Yeah.
So we'll post this on Monday, and
Mhm.
I'll send you the links when it goes live. Okay.
Okay, okay. I will have many people hating me, like always, because
All
I.
right. Awesome. That's the
And there
best
are,
part.
yeah, there are some announcements. I
Oh,
don't know
nice.
when.
Okay.
I know you are following us, so perhaps you will
Yeah.
realize.
And you can always harass me on Discord for any
Yes, I
announcements. I may have
mean,
best just send me
if
some links and I'll
yes,
check
yes,
it out.
yes,
And I'll share
uh,
everything as well.
I have to.
All right. Have a great night. I think it's like dinner
You too.
time for you if you haven't ever eaten dinner, but it's like getting late in the
Yes.
day for you.
Today go to eat out. Yeah.
Hey. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Hanukkah. I'll see you, man. Take care. Bye.
Bye.